Personal growth is often blocked by a barrier we carry within ourselves. Pride is that primary obstacle. It is a quiet, stubborn sense of certainty that stands between you and the person you are trying to become. Consider a young monk named Wulan. From the moment he arrived at his monastery, his foundational talent was obvious. While other monks labored over ancient texts, Wulan absorbed them easily. If the head monk taught a complex lesson, Wulan grasped the conclusion before the master even finished speaking. He was sharp, and he knew it. When younger monks asked him for help, his answers were technically correct, but his tone was flat, dismissive. When the head monk offered him standard corrections, Wulan listened, but his jaw remained tight. In his mind, he had already outgrown the need for notes. Slowly, the monastery adjusted. The other monks recognized the wall behind his eyes and stopped seeking him out, leaving him in a growing silence. Wulan assumed they stayed away because they couldn't keep up. He kept reading and filling his mind with information, but because his heart was sealed, none of those words actually changed him. Unchecked superiority builds an invisible wall. It mimics self-reliance, but its only function is to halt personal development. Recognizing this trap, the old master called Wulan into a small, quiet room away from the other monks. On a shelf in that room sat an old mirror. It was completely coated in a thick, matte layer of gray dust. The master asked Wulan to describe what he saw in the glass. Wulan replied that he could see nothing at all. The obstruction was too dense. Handing him a cloth, the old master instructed Wulan to wipe only the left side of the glass. Wulan's reflection appeared immediately on the clean half, clear and sharp, but the right half remained a flat, solid wall of gray. The master asked if the right side of the mirror was broken. Wulan shook his head. The glass itself was fine. The dust was the singular reason it failed to reflect his face. A mirror is built to show you who you are, but if an obstructive layer sits on the surface, the tool becomes useless, even if the person looking into it doesn't realize the mirror is dirty. Foundational tools for self-reflection are rendered ineffective by these surface-level obstructions. The master explained that dust arrives one day at a time. It settles slowly and quietly until the layer is too thick to see through. In a person, that dust is pride. It accumulates in the mind the exact same way. It builds through single, quiet thoughts, the assumption of being better than others, and the total refusal to accept correction. This was Wulan's exact position. He was hyper-aware of the flaws in every other monk, but he was entirely blind to his own arrogance. Dust offers no resistance. It leaves the moment you touch it. Pride works the same way. It starts to lift the second you admit it is there. After sitting in silence for a long time, Wulan finally picked up the cloth and finished the job, wiping the remainder of the mirror to see his true self. What is the one thing about yourself that you refuse to look at? Tell me in the comments. And if this story reached you, share it with someone who is currently standing in their own way. True clarity begins when you abandon the illusion that you already know everything and choose to look inward.